to see?
No.
Wait, I don't know. Wait, hold up.
Is that a real bird?
Hello. Welcome back to Büdgét with Mars and Neeter. If you couldn't tell by Anita screaming, we are finally continuing with part 2 of our Halloween episode. But this time, instead of sharing ghost stories, you'll be listening to us talk about the different haunted houses and experiences we went to in New Orleans. Yes, we will be talking about the cost and if we thought it was worth it. Now, these are experiences we had in 2019, so we're really hoping that they come back this year, 2021. We shall see. So if you're really on a Büdgét, hang tight because closer to the end of the episode, we'll be talking about some of the free things that you usually could do in New Orleans. Again, guys, hopefully this stuff will return this year, 2021. So first up is Scout Island Scream Park. Now, just so you guys know, Scream Park has a few haunts that you can pay separately for, or you could buy a pass that will get you into all of the haunts. But stay tuned for that. We will talk about that in just a second. And what you're about to hear is me and Anita just exiting their Egyptian-themed haunt, Pharaoh's Fury. Come on, you need me to... Licked your leg. That's hilarious. Oh, God. Anita, wait. Don't leave me.
Like, I was so traumatized. I remember going through these things, and I can remember bits and pieces of it, but the rest of the time, I just remembered I was just trying to find a way out of everything.
God, especially that one when you were going through.
Oh, when I was going through those
tight blow-up tunnels.
Well, yeah, it was like that, like these big black garbage bag looking things,
right? That
were full of air, kind of like a bouncy house air thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And you had to go through them,
right?
So when you were in it, it was just like surrounded you, and I'm claustrophobic.
Yeah,
as y'all have learned from the Blackbird trip.
Right. And I thought of that.
Very claustrophobic.
I thought of that when we were going through. That's why I was like, are you going to be okay? Do you need me to go?
And I was like, no, you go first.
I know.
Take my hand. Pull me through in case I got stuck.
Yeah.
You know?
And we had to go through two
of them, yeah.
How did you feel?
Like I couldn't breathe. Like I literally held my breath and just closed my eyes and pretended that it was over with and just tried to get out of there as quick as I could.
You made it. You're still alive. You didn't die.
I didn't die. But did you die?
I didn't die either.
But did you die?
I like that one. I think that one is my second favorite.
Right.
Pharaoh's Fury.
Yeah.
So the first one would be
Devil's Swamp.
Definitely. I like that the best. Next would be Pharaoh's Fury. I would have to say the next would be the zombie one. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Because that one was a little interactive.
Right.
Because they
chased you down. Like, they really chased you down. Like, if you didn't shoot them and hit their target, which I was just like, I was trying to run and shoot. Mm-hmm. If I ever have to get chased and shoot somebody, I'm dead.
Yeah.
I'm dead. Because they really ran up right on me. They don't touch you.
Yeah, they don't.
They don't touch you. But they get close enough to make you think they will, excuse my language, fuck you up.
Yes.
And it's just terrifying because you're in these woods. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's not inside of a building. You're actually in these woods and these things are jumping out from behind trees.
Right.
And running after you in these woods. And it's just really terrifying. Really terrifying.
Right. And the way that they have it set up when you go in, they set you up in these different rows and they set you up with a few different people in those rows. So those are going to be your groups. So they'll give you these laser tag guns and it'll show you what to do with them. They even have some of the guides telling you what to do and how to use them.
Right.
But it was so loud in there I couldn't hear very well.
Right.
We were trying to figure out our gun. Like, how do you do this? Oh, did you... Like, when you press the button, it says, you got him. Good job. Your laser gun would vibrate.
Right.
So you know you got them.
Well, mine never vibrated.
let me tell you.
Because I didn't get any.
Mine vibrated
and
so
I was
many times.
screaming at you, shoot them for me.
I know. And I have to say, I'm pretty sure my score was high.
Yeah.
Because mine, like, I kept shooting and people would go down. And I'm like, yes, I got one. I got another one. I didn't realize they were keeping score. Mm-hmm. Because we didn't hear that part.
Right.
But they have these TV monitors set up at the very end. And you realize you could see your group name and the number, which I guess was the number on the gun. I don't know.
It was the number of hits you had, I think.
Anyway, I was trying to look for my score and figure it out, and everyone else behind me was like, go, go, go. Like, they just wanted to get out.
Right.
I was like, but I just want to know my score.
And I was like, well, I knew mine was 0, so I wasn't even trying to find me on there. I was at the bottom of the list. I'm probably the only person that ever went through that attraction at that park that absolutely got 0.
Oh, I doubt. I'm sure there were other people that probably didn't even use the gun.
I got the booby prize.
Like, I kind of felt bad, like, shooting. Like, I knew it was a game, but I still kind of felt weird, like, trying to shoot the laser gun at people.
I just was terrified. Like, I was about to start whacking them on the head with my gun to make them get away from me.
That's so crazy that you say that, because there's a girl that we work with, and she does haunted houses up in Baton Rouge, and she said somebody punched her one year.
Well, it's just that fight or flight reaction.
Yeah.
Like, when you're terrified and terrorized and you feel somebody's threatening you, your body reacts without you even thinking.
Yeah.
Because
just know, audience out there, just know when you go to a haunted house, if we have haunted houses in the future like this, that those people are actors, performers. They might be scary, but please don't punch them.
It's more the startle effect that they have on you.
Anita punches me when she's scared.
Yeah, and you know, you're my friend, and so
I know. It was just like a reaction.
It's
involuntary.
It's just an involuntary reaction. Like, it's not that I'm intentionally going to go in there and say, "Oh, I'm going to punch the first person that jumps out at me."
Right.
It's just that's how my body reacts.
Yeah.
It's just to start swinging, and get away from whatever is threatening me.
Even if it's in a movie.
Even if it's in a movie, because I can't punch the screen, so I punch whoever's sitting next to me.
Which happens to be me most of the
time. But don't feel bad, because I do the same thing when my kids were playing sports. When my son was playing football, and I'd sit in the stands, nobody wanted to sit by me because I get excited and start slapping them on their backs and on their arms and stuff. So everybody would be like... All of their friends wanted to sit by me because I would dance with the band and cut up and everything. But then when it came time to the game, everybody was like, move away.
So there's like you, Anita, with like 5 benches in between you and another person.
Everybody was like clear an area because they knew that somebody was going to get slapped, punched, or hit if something exciting happened in the game.
God.
And it's not that I intentionally want to do that. It's just that I get so excited. I just have to like... touch somebody.
Right. Well, I know in that horror movie we went to, As Above, So Below,
oh gosh,
you punched me in the arm when something jumped out, and I literally was like, "That's it, Anita!" And I had to sit like 2 seats down.
Don't feel bad. We were in high school, and if you ever get to talk to my friend Regina, she'll tell you we were in high school, and we went to go see Friday the 13th. For the first time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I almost pulled my friend's arm off of her.
Oh, Lord.
Yes.
Oh, goodness.
She still talks about it. Remember when we watched that movie Friday the 13th and you scratched me all about scratches all on my neck and my arm and you like to yank my arm off of my shoulder?
Lord have mercy. I feel like you've improved.
Yeah.
Because...
I don't scratch anymore.
Right. Through these haunted houses, you just grabbed my hand really hard.
Right.
And screamed a lot. So I think you've improved.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah, and that was like, that was worse than a movie, because a movie, like, nothing's touching me.
Right.
Or getting near me. In those haunted houses, Lord Jesus Christ.
So that one was pretty good. And what do you think the next one was? Do you think
Stitches.
Yeah, the Stitches Body Emporium.
Yes.
So that one, it's kind of like a fun house. So you go in.
The floor's all
the floor's all crooked, so it looks like you're in a crooked house. So it really disorients you. And you go through, there's like creepy clowns and people who can contort their bodies and things like that. So it's almost like a freak show. And the Coven.
Yeah, that was pretty scary too.
Yeah, and that one you didn't have to wait in line. I think that kind of like the Medusa, was it the Medusas?
Yeah, Medusa's, the Temple of Medusa.
Yeah, Temple of Medusa.
That was right next to Stitch's Body Emporium. Yeah. And then they had, the Kraken beer and spirits.
Oh, like yeah, we definitely went there first.
They played music and you got drinks, you could dance.
Yeah, that was the Kraken.
Kraken, yeah.
Yeah, the Kraken. But that was fun too. You just kind of go in, get your beer. If you got like their specialty drink, I forgot what it was, but you got the Scout Island cup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they had the Kids Zone, which was scare-free. Mm-hmm. And they were playing like Thriller and stuff like that. Kids could go in there and dance, and they had jumpy houses and stuff like that.
Right. We didn't get to go on the hayride.
No.
Because it was too late. Like, they do that during the day.
Right.
And it's mainly for kids.
Yeah.
But if you know me and Anita, we don't care. We go on everything.
We as kids, we're just kids in grown old people bodies.
I know.
I'm an old
kids
people
at
body.
Heart. We missed out on that, but we also decided we wanted to ride rides.
Well, before that, when we got there, there was like this screen, like a drive-in movie theater.
Oh yeah,
thing.
that's in the middle.
Yeah,
it seems like that's in the middle of the park.
Yeah, and it was called My Bloody Homecoming.
Right.
And every 15 minutes,
every 15?
Mm-hmm, every 15 minutes they would perform a show. Mm-hmm. And it was like episodes from the beginning to the end.
Right. I do remember that because we would try to make those.
Between the rides, we would go and watch
and it was
a segment.
Yeah. So it's campy for sure. It reminds me of those 1950s campy movies.
It was like Grease.
Yeah. Or Vampire
Grease. Yeah.
Because it was about vampires.
Yeah. It was like a vampire, like Grease set when vampires attack.
Right. So that was a lot of fun. And we would just kind of take breaks in between the different haunts, grab a drink from the Kraken, and go sit out there, watch them, just chill out for a while. So we paid, $79 to get into all of the haunts, ride all of the rides.
Fast access, too.
Fast access. And it was worth it.
Yes.
Now, we rode one ride.
Was it just one?
Yeah. It was just one ride because it was getting close to closing.
Oh, yeah. Right.
And we had spent so much time like watching the show and going to all of the haunts.
And everybody was leaving the park. It was getting kind of empty, which was making it really creepy. Creepier than it already was.
Right.
And then we got something to eat. I think then we get a funnel cake or something.
Oh, yeah. I was like, let me try some fried Oreos.
Yeah.
Because I'd never had them before. And I was like, you know what?
Let's
Why
be
not?
Fat.
Whew, we had a lot of calories that day.
Right.
But I think we might have screamed them off. Screamed and ran them off.
Devil Swamp and the zombie thing.
Yeah. So we had a really great time there.
Devil Swamp. Y'all, I didn't even realize how big the area was till I pulled up the map just now on my phone.
Yeah.
It's a really long, I would say we were in there, 30, 40 minutes?
Yeah, about 30 minutes.
At least.
It was pretty long, but it was well put together. And I like how we were walking outside.
Right.
Like Pharaoh's Fury was all interior.
Interior, yeah.
It was still very well put together.
Oh, my God.
But I kind of like that feeling of what's going to pop out of these bushes.
Yeah, in the creepy woods.
Yeah.
Some areas were really dark. I mean, the only way you could find your way down the path was if
you reached your hands out and like felt.
Right. Or the guide, if we were close enough to her, she had like a little lantern or something that she was walking with. But
yeah, we got separated a couple of times.
Yeah. Honestly, that was my all-time favorite ever haunted attraction. The most scariest that I've been in.
It was very well done.
Right. It was. And the actors and everything, they were just like so realistic. But I was just thinking, like, how do I know these people are really actors? What if they're really trying to get me? Especially in the zombie one.
I just want to say everything was so well done. It was so much fun. And it was worth the $79.
It was absolutely worth every single penny.
Plus, when you would go to buy your ticket, I should say, because this was 2019, you could get that, what was it, a VIP card?
It was a VIP card
to go. It looks like a little business card, but it's got the 4 haunts on there. The Mortuary, Scout Island, Scream Park. There were 2 others.
The 13th Gate and Roz.
Right.
Like when we went to the Mortuary, we got upgraded to
the Express
VIP
lane.
Express.
Yeah.
With our general admission pay.
Right. So instead, you can just pay the regular general admission price. But if you show that card, then you get to go to the Express line or the VIP line.
Yeah.
Right.
And we got upgraded to that.
Right. So that was worth it.
We didn't go to the 13th Gate or Roz, which I kind of wish we would have now because with
COVID
everything
now.
going on, it might have been our last time to have the shit scared out of us. But
for a while, yeah.
For a while. The Mortuary had some frightening parts, but after going through the Devil's Swamp, it's like nothing compared.
But I do have to say this to be fair, because we went there first.
Yes, we did. We went there before we went to the Mortuary. And the same holds true with the business card. If any one of the 4 that we mentioned, the Mortuary, Roz, 13th Gate, or Scout Island, if you bought the VIP pass at any one of those events, you got upgraded at the other 3.
Yeah, you got an upgrade.
With a general admission ticket.
Right.
So it's worth it to me.
Right. It definitely was.
Right.
But I will say about the Mortuary, like, first off, it's set in what used to be a real mortuary or a real funeral home.
Right.
And there's cemeteries right by it. So it already sets the tone. They also, by the way, have escape rooms. I've never been.
I know.
I really want to go.
Me
of course,
too.
They're closed right now because of COVID.
Everything is closed.
I know.
We're going to have a lot of stuff to do.
Oh, I know. My checklist is very long.
Because this year has just been pretty much like put on hold because of this coronavirus stuff. So we have we'll have a whole year of catch up.
Right.
So next year we're going to have to do everything have double the fun at every event.
I know.
To make up for what we missed this year.
I just want to put it out there. The Mortuary, they did an excellent job. First off, when you are there in line, they have people in the front and you do like the whole countdown before you go in.
Right. Like you reading this sign that, said if you have heart problems or whatever, don't go in here. It could trigger anxiety. Could, if you're afraid of snakes, if you're afraid of things, they couldn't promise what was going to happen to us in there. So if anything happened, they weren't responsible for it. So like if we got a snake thrown on us and had a heart attack, they cleared themselves by listing all this stuff on this wall.
Yeah.
So before I even went in, I was already terrified because I'm like, what the hell are they going to do to me in there?
I know. But it was really interesting. I mean, they had a storyline that they set up. And of course, I don't want to give away anything.
No.
Because that's, they may decide to do it again, the same theme.
Right.
So I'm not going to say anything about that. But all I have to say is the inside, once you get in, it looks legit, like a movie set. Even better. I mean, they really did such a good job. Even on the costumes, the people were freaky.
You really feel like you're in a freaking haunted house.
Yeah.
You feel like you're in a haunted house movie. Because they even said in that disclosure, if you see a real ghost in here, don't be, because this is an actual haunted house. Like really listed as a haunted house. So don't be surprised if you see a real entity. And I was like, holy shit. I'm like, please don't jump on my back and come home with me.
Yeah. Yeah. And we even talked to some people afterwards. We're like, hey, you want to tell us how scared you were? And I think their response was, we were really scared, because they didn't know what to say.
Right.
Ooh, uh-oh, clowns.
I'm not a fucking clown.
Oh! That's bright. Okay. All right, girl, you got it?
No.
Yes, you do. Come on.
No.
Come on, girl.
No.
Yes, you do. Come on.
Start.
I'm attached to you. Hold on. Oh my god. Oh my god, I think you're actually crushing my hand right now. All of these places are so fun to me. I love haunted houses. But we also went to a couple of things that were absolutely free.
Right.
So New Orleans, first off, they love to dress up. They love to decorate. And there's a couple of places, there's a couple of houses that really one puts on a really great light show.
Right.
The other house decorates so well. But it's called the Skeleton House.
Yes.
And they have a bunch of skeletons in their front yard and different sayings and different titles.
Yeah. Like they have the Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah.
Instead of Monroe.
Yeah.
They have every skeleton is named after something famous. Or
right.
something.
Or it's just really punny.
Right.
They've got to put so much work into putting that stuff up. And it's off of St. Charles.
Yeah.
And you cannot miss it.
It said what started as a few skeletons in a front yard nearly 17 years ago has grown to a massive attraction that has embedded itself into the heart of uptown New Orleans. Doesn't say how many skeletons they have.
They'll add a few or a couple more
right.
with the newsworthy stuff.
Right. Like I'm sure they're going to have a lot of coronavirus ones.
Does it say anything about this year?
Well,
I mean, it's kind of early.
It hasn't said anything about this year, but the thing with that one is that I don't see why they wouldn't have it because it's not anything that you go to.
Right.
This is just someone's yard.
And
that
you
they
just
decorate,
look at it.
And you just pass and look at it. So it's actually not an event that they can cancel. This is just someone's house yard decorated.
Okay. So hold up. Cancel quotation marks because it's just a person's house.
Right.
So if they decide not to have it, then they just decide not to have it.
Well, yeah, if that's the personal person.
Yes.
I'm not talking about
the personal
person.
Yeah. If they still decorate this year,
right,
just make sure that you are social distancing and wearing a mask. Do whatever is required because you just want to make sure, that you're not only having fun, but you're being safe and all the people around you have their personal space respected.
Right. It's at 6000 St. Charles Avenue. It's on the corner of St. Charles and State Street.
Yeah, St. Charles and State. And then the other one was on the corner of Magazine Street and 2nd Street, right? And that one was the Ghost Manor.
Right.
And they have a very elaborate light show. It's just like a bunch of songs that they play, and there's skeletons on the front porch that
like
sing.
A skeleton band.
And they have different things going on in the windows.
The ghosts are dancing in the windows.
Yeah, and that's family friendly as well.
It's so cute because they'll have eyes in the windows looking at you and twirling around. And all of a sudden, these ghosts will start dancing, and it looks like the house is on fire.
Right.
And these ghosts are dancing in the fire.
Yeah, it's just so much fun to watch. But what I will say is if they still do it this year, then again, just like the Skeleton House, just make sure that you're social distancing, wearing a mask, being very respectful of other people's space.
They actually have a website.
Yes, they do.
Ghostmanor.org. I mean, they say you can follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Yeah.
So
yeah, if you want to stay updated, just make sure to join them there. Even though they are not a haunted house.
Right.
And even though you could just see it from the street, you never know. They may just not want people accumulating in front of their house.
Right.
So just make sure that you keep up with that website if you want to, if you're interested in that.
Right.
Because they may not do it this year. Yes, so we can't wait for 2021.
Right. It has given me time to stock up on Depends.
Right. So that's pretty much all we did for this October. And they did have other things around the city that we didn't go to.
Right, like Oktoberfest, Voodoo Fest.
Right, we didn't go to Oktoberfest, which that's the beer fest, which I don't I really don't know if they're going to have any of that this year.
Right.
They had Boo at the Zoo, which is at Audubon Zoo, which is honestly for smaller kids, you said, right?
Yeah. Me, my grandson, and my 2 daughters went. My grandson at the time was 10. And even though they had things, for kids his age and stuff, it was mainly geared towards the smaller children. Yeah. Like the preschool, elementary, like younger elementary school stuff. They had very few things for him. They did have a scary train ride. The only thing was the lines were very long. Really? It was kind of like going to Disney and standing in line to ride a ride.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So it was that long. Like, I'm talking about hour and a half. And then they have the Halloween at City Park.
Is that what it is?
There was Halloween at the City Park for the dogs.
Yeah. Speaking of things going on in City Park, the other thing that I went to, not this past year with you, but the year before with our friend Tracy, was Brews and Booze. Or Booze and Brews. Uh-huh. Either
Brews and Booze?
Yes.
You get bruised drinking booze?
But it's a lot of fun. They have it at Storyland. And they open up the gates, I think, around like 10 o'clock at night. Mm-hmm. And of course, you prepay a certain amount. I think we paid like about $30 for our tickets. But you ride all the rides you want. You get free beer. Right. We just had a great time. Right. We dressed up. We were trying to do Harry Potter, but we did a half-C job. I didn't have time to like...
Scary Potter.
Yeah, we did like half-Cs on ours. But the other people that dressed up, oh my God. The costumes were so well done. So on point. I was like, oh my God.
New Orleans is a costume city.
Yes.
Like everybody
loves to dress up.
Except for me. Has a closet full of costumes. They have one closet or some of them have whole rooms dedicated to their costumes and wigs and everything.
Wow. Have you seen these people?
I know these people.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm like, how do you have so many costumes for different events?
Box in my
and they
closet.
were like, I have a whole room in my house that's dedicated to nothing but costumes.
Wow.
So they just pick a theme and buy a costume. I mean, when I was Ubering a couple of years ago, I picked up these women, and they looked like the witches of Eastwick, dressed in these costumes, these elaborate witch costumes. Right. They had come from all over the United States because they have a witches' ball, and they spend all year long designing these elaborate witch costumes. I mean, they were elaborate, beautiful.
So the year I was going with Tracy to Brews and Booze, or Booze and Brews, I get them mixed up. But we were thinking about going to the Vampires Ball.
I wanted to go last year, remember? Yeah. But it fell on a Friday. You had to work or something.
Right, exactly. Of course, what I was trying to say, I saw photos, and those costumes were beautiful, like the elaborate Victorian dresses.
Yes. People
just really go out. But there's also a Rougarou Fest. And that's in Homa. Yeah. Which I don't think you went to that with me.
I never went. You brought me a poster from there, but...
I did.
When is the Rougarou?
So the Rougarou Fest, it's like the weekend or a couple of weekends before Halloween in Homa. And that's about an hour and a half away from New Orleans. They have all sorts of things going on. It's an outdoor festival. They have local bands playing, usually like a bunch of Cajun music, that's actually what made me think of you. But they have a costume contest and everybody dresses up. I mean, the costumes were amazing. You haven't seen the recent movie It.
I haven't seen any of them.
Yeah. So none from the 80s?
Nope.
Yeah. So the new one, Penny Dreadful, they had this little kid in a Penny Dreadful costume. And he had a red balloon. And he looked so freaky in his old-timey clown outfit. I was like, oh my God, look at that little kid. And he knew he was scary. He got an award for best costume. There's other people who got awards for costume. And then they have like a time set aside for when they tell the tale of the Rougarou. They've got like a parade. So they have like all these like witches crews coming down. Everyone's just kind of dressed up like campy witches. They dance around. It's so much fun. And then they have like those huge puppets where they've got like 6 people operating them. So they had like some skeletons there. If you like outdoor festivals, that's a good one. Make sure you check the website for that because we don't know if it's going to happen this year.
Right.
Right.
We'll get back.
Yeah, we'll
in September.
Update you guys.
We'll pull up all of these events and update everybody on times, cancellations, and alternate events.
I know.
Because Halloween here in New Orleans is like Christmas everywhere else.
Yes.
I find that people decorate more for Halloween than they do for Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
In the city.
Absolutely.
And I guess it's because New Orleans is known to be haunted, and all of the above ground graves. It makes it already creepy. Plus with the voodoo and the hoodoo and all the other things, it just makes it more of a Halloween city.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine celebrating Halloween anywhere else, but maybe Salem.
Salem. Well, Orlando. Because they go all out on those haunted houses at really? Universal.
We'll see. Yeah, I would like to do that.
Yeah,
too.
In Disney, they decorate the whole park. The last time I went to Disney, which was actually not Animal Kingdom, but the Magic Kingdom, I noticed that they had started putting up decorations for Halloween, and I was like, oh my God, I want to stay. I want to be here for all of that.
Bucket list.
I know. Bucket list. Definitely going on the bucket list.
I mean, October's 31 days, so we could do a week in each place.
Yeah.
And a week in Disney, a week in Universal, a week in Salem, and then a week in New Orleans.
Yeah, that's going to be a bucket list month. That's pretty much it for this show. So let's talk about our takeaways. Okay. So the first thing, of course, it's the era of COVID. So yay, a lot of things. I know. Hopefully we'll hear back from a lot of these places to see if they're doing anything additional, like maybe anything digital or, I don't know, drive-in, drive-through. They may have to get a little creative this year, but we'll give you an update in September.
If you're going to Scout Island Screen Park, definitely wear closed-toe running shoes.
Because you might be running a lot.
You will be running through the woods.
You don't know who's going to step on your toe.
Well, not only that, like there are roots and other things on the ground, and it's dark. And like going through Pharaoh's Fury, it's like walking on a beach. So, you get sand in your closed-toe shoes. Imagine walking in sandals through that. You'll probably get bogged down.
But lose a sandal.
Right, or lose a toenail or whatever, because you don't know what you're going to step on, stomp on. Just be safe and wear closed-toe shoes.
Now, number 2. And speaking of number 2, if you need to go to the bathroom, make sure that you bring some type of other lighting device. We were like, man, we need headlamps in here because it's in an area that's not well lit.
Right.
Especially if you're going at night.
Right.
It's really hard to see. And we were using the lights on our phones to go into the portalette.
Right.
And of course, you don't want to use that extra hand.
You don't have anywhere to set it down.
Right.
So you have to hold it and try to get your pants down with one hand. And you just need something you can hang, because they do have hooks on the doors, most of them, that you could hang a headlamp on, and that way it'll light up the whole.
Or if you're a nerd like me, you'll just put a headlamp on and then go in so you can see everything. Then, of course, because of the portalette situation, you want to make sure that you have hand sanitizer first off and Kleenex, because you want to make sure if they don't have toilet paper in there, you're not out of luck.
Right.
The third thing, number 3, when you buy your ticket, ask them if they have any discounts or if they have any specials. But that's it, y'all. So, Anita, where can everybody find us on social media?
You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. You can also go to our website at www.budgetwithmarsandneeter.com. That's Büdgét, but it's spelled budget. www.budgetwithmarsandneeter.com.
Yes, you correct, Anita.
I forgot what I was saying for a second.
And if you like what you heard in this episode, go ahead and subscribe. And also share with anyone you think that might be interested in the show. If you're on Apple Podcasts, make sure to give us a rate and also give us a review. Thank you guys so much for listening today, and we'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh my God! one's got to go. Here we go. I go.